Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests. Well, before I start, I think I have a short story to say. And to thank you, really, Dr. Abdulaziz. There was an old man with his grandchild walking in the jungle, and suddenly they saw a lion charging against them. So the child went running, climbing the tree. The old man couldn't. He's in my age, so it was a bit tough. So he waved to the tiger or the lion and asked him to halt. The lion, with full of surprise, he stopped. And the old man went to the lion and whispered in his ear. The lion shook his head, turned around and left. So the grandchild came down the tree, went to his grandpa and asked him, "Grandpa, what did you tell the lion?" He said, "I told him there will be a speech after dinner." So thank you, Dr. Abdulaziz, by having the speech before the dinner. Well, it gives me great pleasure, particularly as I have only been in the appointment for 3 months, to be here today at this great and historic university, and to be among so many distinguished participants. I want at the outset to express my gratitude to the GRC and its chairman, Dr. Abdulaziz bin Sakr, for the kind invitation to take part in today's panel and to speak on the GCC and its approach to developments and challenges in our region. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 25th of May, the GCC celebrated its 30th anniversary at a time of considerable regional and international challenges. This historic occasion was a chance to reflect on our organization and its developing role both regionally and globally. Looking back, it is fair to say that the GCC and its member states have evolved into a cohesive and robust system of which its citizens, neighbors, friends, and allies can be pleased. Moreover, looking forward, the events of these recent months have demonstrated that the GCC can respond effectively and constructively to any challenges that arise, working together to promote the prosperity and well-being of all citizens of GCC states without distinction. In my view, the GCC's development over the past 30 years is based on 3 pillars that continue to guide us going forward: security, prosperity, and resilience. Security is the essential foundation for progress and development in all fields, and the basic guarantee of personal, social, and economic rights and freedoms. Here, a secure environment at the individual, national, and regional levels includes safety from internal and external threats, as well as preparedness for and effective response to both natural and man-made disasters. An important source of security in the GCC is the remarkable cohesion of its people, who enjoy common ties of kinship, culture, and shared history, and the strong historical and traditional bonds between rulers and their subjects in the GCC. These ties within and between our countries have been central to developing our concept of GCC collective security, the recognition throughout the region that the security of each country fundamentally depends on the security of all. But we recognize that genuine security is built from the grassroots upwards, and that this requires sustained and equitable economic progress and development. Hence, the GCC countries have worked hard to encourage prosperity for all their citizens, promoting economic innovation and investing generously in human development, in their citizens' education, health, and well-being. They are ahead of schedule in achieving the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs. Economically, we are moving from being resource economies to genuine knowledge economies, a transition which fits well with GCC's small, highly educated, and dynamic population. It capitalizes on GCC nationals' strengths and seeks to put them in command of their economic destiny. This process has accelerated over the past few years, even through the recent financial crisis, during which GCC countries adopted some of their most ambitious development programs. We recognize also that the path of development is not always a smooth one, and that it will inevitably encounter challenges, whether internal or external, economic or political. Already, however, the GCC and its member states have demonstrated remarkable unity of purpose and resilience in facing such challenges. Indeed, the desire for greater resilience and the ability to bounce back from adversity has been a key driver of collective security, and is based on the recognition that strong and effective cooperation between the GCC countries provides both individual and collective strategic and economic depth. By working effectively together, GCC countries gain depth, resilience, and capacities that would be beyond any country acting alone, while retaining the flexibility to respond quickly and effectively to challenges. So how have these principles been reflected in practice? The commitment of the GCC countries to their collective security has never been in doubt. On the occasion of the invasion of Kuwait in 1990, all GCC states and people stood by their Kuwaiti brothers, taking them in, providing support, and allowing the country to overcome the crisis and rebound rapidly following liberation in February 1991. The GCC, as an organization, not only survived that crisis, but emerged stronger, demonstrating its value and showing remarkable resilience. More recently, the GCC partners have demonstrated their full readiness to support Bahrain's moves to establish a national, comprehensive consensus dialogue that will further advance the ambitious reform program of His Majesty King Hamad, so as to meet aspirations of all its people. These efforts have included the recent royal initiative to establish an independent commission of eminent international persons to examine in full transparency issues raised by the events earlier this year. In order to assist in creating the environment necessary for the dialogue to succeed, the GCC countries have worked collectively to strengthen Bahrain's economy and to deter any external interference that seeks to derail its course. Economically, the GCC continues to move forward in promoting development and prosperity for all citizens, in line with its chapter objective of integrating member states in all areas of economic life. The GCC Common Market, launched in 2008, has gone a long way towards achieving GCC economic citizenship, allowing all GCC citizens and businesses to move freely, work, and invest in any GCC country on an equal footing. In the 3 years since its inception, the Common Market has already resulted in growth of over 80% in intra-GCC investment and a 30% increase in labor mobility of GCC nationals seeking work in other GCC countries. In trade, the GCC established in 2003 a customs union with the aim of allowing goods to move freely within the GCC. Its establishment has already led to an annual increase in intra-GCC trade of over 20%, much more than had been hoped for. Thanks in part to these developments, the recent financial crisis demonstrated the GCC's strong economic resilience. The region was one of the few areas in the